right. Looks like we're live. Hopefully we're live. Let me see. Let me pull up my stream here. Make sure that everyone can see it. 1 second here while I fix this up. All right. Yes, it looks like we're live. All right. Need to spin in the chair? Okay, sure. Here you go. That's a classic. In any case, if you're here and you're watching, welcome. This is going to be where AMD supposedly is going to release their, Ryzen 5000 series processors. I'm thinking that they're going to release the launch the 5900X and 5800X. So that would be the 12-core and 8-core processors. When you're actually going to be able to buy them, I've heard somewhere around the 20th of October, but they should be releasing a whole bunch of information. So get ready to see hopefully some sort of benchmarks from them. And it looks like we have 26 minutes until the actual event starts. So starting right now, if you want to, ask anything, any super chats, what have you, I will have time to answer those right now. And then when it ends, I'll have a little bit of time as well, maybe 30 minutes to an hour. So get your questions in while you can. Do it again for $5 Canadian, I believe. All right, one more time. All right. Beware of AMD fanboys. Oh, by the way, thank you, Nuclear Nadal. That's a wonderful picture you got there. So I'm going to go ahead. So I'm going to be streaming it from their actual YouTube stream. It should work this time. If for whatever reason, I'm using, what is it called? Microsoft Edge or something. The reason why is because I'm not signed into Microsoft Edge. So if something goes wrong for a split second, I will immediately pull it back up and I'll get it working. But it should just work because I remember last time it took me about 30 seconds because Microsoft Edge had an issue. I think I got it figured out this time. By the way, if there is any audio weirdness or if the audio levels aren't correct, let me know right away. I can fix it super quickly. It's not a problem. So you just don't suddenly leave because the audio levels are wrong. Just, type something in the chat, spam it if you have to, and I'll just immediately go in and change it. It's Edge Chromium, so it's fine. All right. All right. Hi, Graphically Challenged. When do you think the 5950X will launch? Personally, I think that processor is probably not going to launch for at least a couple of months. I wouldn't be surprised if it ended up being like 3 or more months because I'm assuming that their highest end processors, they're going to save like the dies. So I would assume that the ones that can maybe touch 5 gigahertz, if that ends up being a thing, will be the 5950X. And that'll probably only happen on a single core, and it probably won't happen for quite some time. We got a lot of questions coming in here. I'll try and get to as many of you as I can. And by the way, shortly after this live stream, I have a Discord on my channel. And if you're part of that, I'm going to start on Saturdays at some point. I haven't figured out the exact time, but I will go in the Discord for 30 minutes to an hour on Saturdays. So if you want to ask questions there, the way you get access to my Discord is if you follow me on Patreon or if you subscribe on Patreon. So thank you to all my Patreon members, by the way. It really helps out the channel quite a bit. Dark mode, please. Geez. Well, here's the thing. I could change it to dark mode, but I don't want to go and mess around with that because, to be honest with you, I'm going to be full screening the video when it starts. So. And by the way, when the video starts, I will make my face a little bit smaller. But you know what? For right now, let's go ahead. Let's blow it up. Because we can, I could pull up a game or something, but it's only 23 minutes from now. So just sub to your Patreon, by the way. Well, thank you, Nuclear Nadal. Yeah, so after this live stream happens, I'm thinking next week I'm going to start. I'll probably just be in my Discord. I know I've been saying I'm going to do that for a while, but I mean it this time. It's really going to happen. Okay. He big now. Yeah. Yeah, this camera, I think it's the C920. It's pretty decent, but it's not amazing. Should I buy a 3950 Ryzen? At this point, I would wait because they might drop in price a little bit. Because to be honest with you, that's gonna be a good processor. Even sometime in the future, it's still gonna be a great processor. The question is, it might be like $600 now or something, but it could end up dropping to like $500. We'll see. Probably not, but it's possible. Hey, Graphically Challenger, you can upgrade your personal PC, says Liam Yasor. So here's the thing. Actually, all the benchmarking I do on this channel is on my personal PC because I don't get enough views or make enough to actually have a separate benchmarking PC. So yeah, I'm constantly upgrading my personal PC. Right now, I'm only using an RTX 2060, and I say only, but that's actually a really good graphics card. And I'm actually very satisfied with the RTX 2060 for the most part. There's only been like 1 or 2 games where I felt the need to get something faster. And I would honestly just keep the 2060 or maybe go for like, I don't know, 5700 XT if I wasn't running a YouTube channel. But since I'm running a channel, I'll be trying to go and get like an RTX 3080, Big Navi, 3070. I'll be trying to get all those parts in. I'll be getting a Zen 3 processor and slapping that in my X570 motherboard and doing all kinds of tests. So I'm just constantly upgrading, and sometimes it's a little bit annoying because like sometimes I have to reinstall Windows because when I install a new processor, I just end up reinstalling Windows because to make sure that all the various stuff that you have to download is like perfectly right, and then you get somewhat of a more fresh install when you do the test. So it can be a little bit annoying sometimes. I don't know, man. 1080 Ti barely runs Control at 4K. I mean, I don't run 4K. This is from Harut Pashian. Well, here's the thing. I don't run 4K. I run 1440p, 144 hertz. So I just turn down a couple settings that don't matter quite as much. And then, it doesn't really look that much worse, and the 2060 does pretty good. Kurt H says, any luck grabbing an RTX 3080 yet? No, I have had no luck getting an RTX 3080. Though, I will say this. I did the auto notify at EVGA on the 18th, which, by the way, they rolled out a new queuing system. So I should be getting an email from them pretty soon so that when that happens, I should be able to get like 5 hours to go in and purchase a 3080. And at that point, I'll get the 3080 for the Win 3 Ultra, or maybe just the for the Win 3 because, I've seen some like reviews of the 3090 for the Win 3 Ultra, but I've not seen any for the Win 3 regular reviews at all. I don't know. I'll see. All right. I saw something I wanted to respond to, but the comments are going so fast I can't see it anymore. Shoot. Yeah, if you want to have your comment seen for sure, Super Chat's a great way to do that. I'm not trying to push it, but like that is genuine. Like I will see it, but I will try my best to get to you. But there are a lot of comments. It was like really bad with the 3080 launch. There's like, and I could not get to anyone unless it was a super chat. It was ridiculous. All right. Someone said I got a 3080 Founders Edition. Yeah, I actually really like the Founders Edition this time around. The one thing is I wish they would have thrown the 3090 cooler in the 3080 because imagine how awesome that would be. Because the 3090 cooler is really good. Like it's better than some of the ones that you can get from third-party partners. In fact, it's better than a lot of them. Ever since Sesimium says, ever since this guy done a crazy intro, he doesn't want to change his shirt. The main reason why I'm not changing my shirt is just because I don't have another shirt. This is the only one I have. I mean, I'm not saying that this is my only shirt that I have, period. But I don't have another shirt that looks nice to wear. I want to go out and get another one, but it's not really in my time or budget to be spending money on clothing right now. So I know that sounds ridiculous, but it's true. Underwater Cheese Boy says, your eyebrows are fire, bro. Well, thank you, Underwater Cheese, bro. Boy, I mean, you should give me a taste of that underwater cheese. I didn't mean anything bad by that. I mean like I'd really like to taste cheese that was underwater. Whatever. Let's move on from that comment. All right. Michael Wrigley says TJ Maxx / Nordstrom Rack. You'll be dapper on the cheap. Yeah, I need to go out and actually look for new clothing. That is the problem. I want to get the shirt pretty much just like this, but without like I have like a rip over. It's like I think I rolled it up. There's like a rip in there. Oh, by the way, Underwater Cheese Boy, thank you for the $5. All right, so we got another super chat coming in from Yotop Rules. I think, is that £1? Yeah, I think, yeah, £1. Thank you very much, Yotop Rules, sorry, I got it wrong again. That is a confusing name you got there. Okay, let's see. Can you do the head whip live? I already did. You missed it, Dodo Gaming 1. All right, Nuclear Nadal, thank you for the... I need a drink of water real quick. I just had a protein bar and like a piece of it was in the back of my throat. Anyway, thank you, Nuclear Nadal, for the $2 Canadian. Here's $2 to buy a new shirt. Yeah, that'll probably get me 1/10 of the way there, but thank you very much. So the way I have my stream set up right now is I brought my monitor down because last time it was kind of up here and I was kind of like, I wasn't looking at the camera ever basically. So now I brought it down so it should be a little bit more natural. Oh geez, here's, I'll get to you in a second, but and then I have my comments on another monitor next to me right here. So that's why I'm looking over here. But in any case, hopefully you can hear it well. All right. Okay, thank you, Tim Richardson, for the $5. Once you get 100,000 subs, you must get that iconic blue shirt laminated. You know, that would be kind of fun thing to do, but that's assuming we get to 100,000 subscribers. I'd love to get there. Making pretty good progress right now. I'm at 30,000, but also I'm a little bit worried that things are going to slow down a little bit. I mean, they are. They're going to slow down a little bit after this month because this month there's just been a crazy amount of releases. There's been live stream after live stream. And so I'm thinking after November, things will probably slow down a little bit. So we'll see. I might be able to make it to like 50,000 subscribers by the end of this year. That would be really nice. If you are watching the stream right now and you're not subscribed and you want to see me do overclocking content with Zen 3 processors and you want to see, you know, what it looks like in an X570 motherboard, you want to see Big Navi, definitely get subscribed because I will be doing all of that content. I'm going to be trying my absolute hardest to get these things on launch date. I'm going to be reaching out to as many people as I can. I don't really have any contacts inside of these companies though, because even though I get very good views right now, I just don't have a bunch of subscribers, so they don't really get back to me that often. Okay, and then we have, thank you for the $2, Caden McBride. Games you're currently enjoying right now. Actually, I'm really glad you asked that question because Baldur's Gate 3 Early Access just came out, and it's definitely got some early access bugs, but to be honest with you, if you liked the Divinity Original Sin games, this is like a big improvement on that. Again, it has a few bugs. The camera needs to have a few things changed with it, but that's why it's in early access. But Baldur's Gate 3 right now for me, like I want to go and play that right now, but unfortunately, fortunately, Zen 3 is having their launch in 14 minutes, and then after that I have to do a video. And I get to do a video. and so that's just going to take a large portion of the time today. And then I've been drywalling down in this basement down here. I've had other things I have to do, so I don't know when I'll be able to get to that next. But I do really like that game so far. It's really good. Okay. Thank you, DJ Goham Gaming, for the $10. Keep making great content you're making, and you'll be just fine. Well, thank you, DJ Goham, and that is a wonderful name. I'm trying my best to make good content. I'm trying not to, make the same content over and over, because people do really like to hear about Big Navi, like, a lot, and I do like making a lot of those videos when good information comes out, but sometimes I have to make a balance. Like yesterday I released a video that it's going to end up getting, fewer views, but it's the video I wanted to release, because I wanted to talk about what the best RTX 3080 was, because, there was some news about Big Navi, but, I felt like we needed a break. So I probably will there's a bunch more news that came out about Big Navi though, so there will be one coming up shortly, especially as after this event, I expect to hear a lot more stuff, because I do really enjoy those news videos as well. Like, I definitely enjoy the stuff that I'm doing, so hopefully you guys think it's good, because I try. All right, thank you, Nutra Music, for the... Gosh, I really need to get a currency thing up here. Tell me in the comments what that is. I am, like, so bad with currency, because I see them all over the place, and so then I forget. Thank you anyway. Is a 650 watt power supply enough for the RTX 3070 and Ryzen 5 5600? I think so. Here's the thing. I'm going to do some more videos on that. I did one for the RTX 3080 where I said, is 650 watts enough? And basically with the RTX 3080 in a, average system, it turned out that basically 650 watts should be good enough for most people, but it highly depends on what components you're putting in there. Like if you put a Threadripper in there and you overclock it, probably not a good idea. But with the components that you mentioned, I would be surprised if it wasn't, but it also depends on the rating of the power supply, how good it is, how many power plugs you have is kind of, that stuff is almost more important in a way. And so, but I do want to make videos for the 3070 and Big Navi for what type of power supplies you should be choosing. Okay, next up we have, oh geez, I've never seen this one before. I'm sorry, but I'm going to butcher this, this currency here. Oh man, I've been too close. I need to back up. Sorry about that. In any case, thank you, Thomas Rosted, for the $50. NOK. I'm sorry, I don't know what that is. But thank you very much anyway. Is there any reason to buy Intel at all after this? Hold on, let me move my mic a little bit. Actually, that's a really good question because, in my opinion, there really hasn't been any reason to buy Intel since the 3rd gen launch because, to be honest with you, the only person who should be buying Intel right now, or even like a year ago, was someone who is basically a professional gamer. Because if you're not a professional gamer, then that 7.5% average lead from the 10900K versus the 3900X, which Hardware Unbox measured, doesn't really matter. And so if you move down even further to a 3700X and use a stock cooler, and you slap it on a B450 motherboard, you save a ton of money. And you're probably looking at somewhere between 10 to 12% difference in performance, which, let's be honest, most of the people who are trying to save money on their CPUs really need to upgrade their GPUs first. They're going to be GPU bound, so it shouldn't really matter. All right, so we got another, let's see here. Did I miss one? Okay, no, here's a new one. Thank you, Tim Dodge, for the $25. That actually helps quite a bit. Thank you very much. Buy a shirt. Please pray for my call options on AMD. Well, yeah, thanks again for that. I will go out and buy a new shirt soon. As soon as I have time. I'll put it that way. And on top of that, it's not as easy as it used to be. It's not that it's not easy. It's that you don't want to go out shopping as much anymore as well because of the whole crazy stuff that's going on all over the world right now. But yeah, once I find the time, I'll definitely go out and do that because I think it is long overdue. This shirt is starting to get faded. It's gotten a lot of use. I mean, this has been on the channel for years and years. It must be 4 years by this time. Something like that. But I do like this shirt. It's a good one. It's comfortable. So, all right, we are only 9 minutes away here. We're getting pretty close. The Zen 3 hype is real. Starting to feel it. Feeling it in my loins. To be honest with you, I'm expecting these CPUs to be extremely impressive. I'm normally not someone to get super hyped, but this time around with Zen 3 and Big Navi, I've seen enough stuff that it just this is going to be good. No matter where it falls, it's going to be good. I expect AMD to basically have a measurable lead over Intel. Now, whether or not that's 10% or 20%, we'll have to wait and see. But I'm expecting at least a 10% lead in most games over Intel, which that's a pretty big jump over their last generation. All right, Nuclear Nadal says, all right, thank you for the $2 Canadian. He says, where are you from? Well, I'm from the U.S., I can tell you that much. But yeah, I try and make that in all my videos. I put a little pin that shows, I am from the U.S. From the Deep South. No, I'm not from the Deep South. All right. 8 minutes away. Or no, 7 minutes away now. All right, we're getting close. I'm going to pull up... where is it? I'm going to pull up their website just in case this doesn't pull up immediately. I want to have their website ready in case I have to go there as well. So let me quickly find that. Let's see. I got to go full screen real quick. Sorry, I'm trying to find AMD over... They posted on Twitter. So I'm trying to find where they posted that. Let's see. Let me look up AMD Zen 3. Zen 3. Watch the Zen 3 announcement here. Well, Video Cards has it up as well, so that'll work in case. Whoa, moving my... Okay, all right, we're back. I'm back looking at the chats here. All right. Oh, it looks like I paused my stream here. Not for you, but for me, because I want to see the chats going by. But in any case... All right, let's see. What new questions we got here? Hope the 5900X can clock to 5 gigahertz. I think the 5900X is going to clock up to 4.9 gigahertz on a single core. We'll see, but I think they're going to save that 5 gigahertz model for the 5950 XT. Not 100% on that, though. So it's definitely possible. Like, they are supposedly, I heard they're moving to like a slightly refined version of 7 nanometer. So that should potentially allow them slightly higher clocks. Kind of how on the 3900 XT they got slightly higher clocks, and then the new architecture should help it. But the biggest increase you'll see is just moving from a 4-core CCX design to the 8-core CCX design, which is all but confirmed at this point. I'd be very shocked if they didn't do that. And that should eliminate a lot of that latency. And I think there's just a lot of little architectural stuff they're doing like that. But there's a lot of low-hanging fruit on the Zen 2 architecture right now that on Zen 3 can very easily be made up for to make a very, very fast gaming CPU. Someone's Zepna Odev says rumors. I'm not sure if I should even say this name. Oh, man. Thank you, Dr. Chad Thundercock. Jeez. Is my stream going to get pulled down because I just said that? I'm not saying that name anymore. That's the last time I'm saying your name. But thank you, Thunderblank. Dr. Chad Thunderblank. That's a wonderful name. Thank you for the $5. What is A? I need to get a chart up here of what these currencies are. And he says, "Am I too late?" The answer is no. You are not too late. It actually premieres in 4 minutes. I love the Ricardo Milos picture you got there, though, because a lot of people say that that stupid spin I do looks a lot like Ricardo Milos, and I was looking back at that meme and I was like, you know what? It does look a lot like that. Stephen McNicholas says Chad stole my wife. Well, sorry, Stephen, but he's a Chad. I don't know what to tell you. Callie's Beast 4284 says, "Hi, bro. Intel is trash." I'll tell you this. In the words of Papa John, the day of reckoning has come. So, Dr. Chad Thunderblank says that's Aussie dollars, mate. Yeah, that makes sense. Thanks, man. Thanks for the other $5. Every little bit that you guys send over helps quite a bit. Right now, this is basically my job. So this is what I get up and do 4 to 5 days out of the week, and it's good. It's enough for now. It gets me by. All right, thank you, Dane Mudastuf. Gosh, you guys got some crazy names. Just saying hi. Well, thank you for the £5 and hi back. All right. When will the AMD stream start? It starts in 3 minutes. I got the page pulled up right now. In fact, in a minute here, I'm going to size my camera down. You know, next time, you'll have to tell me in the chat what you think, but next time I might have like a game or a pre-video going or something before, the actual event starts, because with NVIDIA you had a little countdown, which was nice, and AMD, you gotta look at stuff like that, because NVIDIA thinks of stuff like this. This is why their marketing is so great, because they had like a countdown going that was making people just go crazy with hype. When people were streaming it, you could have the countdown showing while you were talking. It's little stuff like that that doesn't seem like it matters, but it does. And so I think if AMD did more stuff like that, then I wouldn't be sitting here being like, should I play something else in the background? NVIDIA is definitely the master at marketing, I'll tell you that much. I'm the knob that just installed my Intel 10900K. I'm watching this to teach myself a lesson that I should be more patient. Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. 10900K is not bad. It's not like you have a bad processor. It's just that, like, to me, it's too expensive to be worth it unless you're like a professional gamer. And at this point, I think AMD's going to win now. But in any case, this event is about to start. Oh, thank you for the $20, David W. Here's some South African American dollars for you. Southern American dollars for you. Well, thank you very much, David W. And then finally we got 5 from Daniela Krignota. Dude, I love your content. Keep it up. So thank you to the both of you. I think this thing is about to start like pretty much any second here at this point. But thank you everyone for all the super chats. Every little bit helps a lot. And I'm sizing my thing down here because it should be starting basically any second. I'm going to give it a little refresh here in case something happens. They could be late. That does happen sometimes. But I also have... I got like secondary options for streams and stuff. So if something goes wrong, I will be like right on it. Okay. Give it another refresh. Premiere will begin shortly. Okay, so they're just having a slight delay here, which definitely understandable. As soon as this goes live, I will be full screening this, by the way. And again, if the audio levels aren't like perfect, let me know, and I'll definitely do anything that I can to change that. And I should be able to change it like really, really quick. So if there's anything that you don't like about the stream, let me know. But it should be working pretty good. In the future, I'm looking into doing like 1440p streams or something. But right now I'm doing an ultra low latency stream, and that's only available in 1080p. So let's see. Someone's going to have to explain the POG meme to me. What is POG? I need to look this up. Ken Casanova, thank you for the $5. Need to find some of that underwater cheese. Yeah. Legend has it is the best cheese you can possibly find. Yeah, it looks like we got a little bit extra time here as they have a slight delay going on as usual. This is another thing. Like, look, I love AMD. They totally are the reason why, our market isn't just completely screwed up. But they do little things like this that NVIDIA would not do. Okay, here we go. They're starting in a minute and 36 seconds. But that's the one thing I think AMD has some room to improve on their marketing. Thank you, Graybeard, for the $10. Helps a lot. Keep doing what you're doing. Love your personality. Your chair spin is great, and the info you provide is invaluable. Well, I'm really glad that you think that. I'm just trying my best here to give you guys useful information if I can. And then thank you, Tim Dodge, for the $5. Once again, POGs are toys from the 90s that hurt your knuckles. You know what? You're right. I do recall them being toys from the 90s. That's what that's from. But I still don't understand like why people are saying POGs. Full screen music too loud? Okay. I can fix that. How's that? Alright. Let me know. Okay, is this fine now? Audio's good now? Okay, perfect. 100%. If you didn't hear me before, thank you guys so much for the... thank you, Graybeard, for the $10, and thank you, Tim Judge, for the $5. And I said that, Graybeard, that was really nice to say. I'm glad you feel that way. And then Tim Judge... I think I kind of knew that they were toys from the 90s, but I don't understand the context still. Why are people saying POG? All right, I'll full screen it here. I need to hear this thing too. Presentation contains forward-looking statements concerning advanced micro devices incorporated, including but not limited to the features, functionality, availability, timing, expectations, and expected benefits of AMD's. Wow, that was too quick.
We started Zen from scratch, starting with a clean sheet of paper.
Zen turned out to be a grounds-up design, which doesn't come along very often.
In the life of an engineer, you get to build something this significant once, twice, if you're lucky, 3 times in your lifetime. AMD enables the engineers to go off and innovate and to bring to market what it is that they dream about.
I'm extremely pleased to show you for the
Video's
first time
too quiet?
the name of our
I got you.
Now it's time for you to see Ryzen in action.
How's that?
We wanted to disrupt the PC market. We wanted to bring innovation, choice, and performance to as many people as possible.
Yep, let me know if this is good now.
PCs, it was about delivering more performance at every
Louder?
single price point.
Okay, yeah, I can turn it a little bit louder.
The Ryzen Threadripper acknowledges that there are people who want to create and game on the same PC and need the scalability and need the
there's Robert
performance to
Halleck.
do that. And that's what's really exciting about the Threadripper chip.
Is our commitment to our customers that we
Perfect.
will deliver
All right.
to the roadmap that we set out, and momentum is now on our side.
The anticipation around third-gen Ryzen
Yeah,
is
from
really
my side, it looks pretty
Meet
good.
The world's first 16-core gaming processor.
That was a
Now, in
big oof
2019,
moment. 16
third-gen Ryzen
cores.
Zen.
What we did in Zen was push well beyond what we thought we could do. It makes me so proud to be able to look back and say that I was part of that.
Our mission with Ryzen has always been clear. It's about making the right bets 3 to 5 years in advance and making sure that they come to fruition. Our goal is to give you the best. Welcome, everyone. Big welcome to all of you, and thank you all for joining us today. I've been looking forward to this moment all year, and I know many of you have too. It's been a challenging year for everyone as we've navigated the COVID-19 pandemic globally. But one thing we've learned is just how important high-performance computing technologies really are. From work, to school, to gaming, to entertainment, the PC is now the computing platform of choice in 2020. And I'm really excited to show you today what we have been working on for the next-gen PC platforms, and especially for all of you gamers. Now, it's already been an incredible year for gamers. There's so much excitement
Stream up a little
around
bit?
the next-gen
Okay.
consoles.
Little tiny
We are
bit.
so
I'll turn it up a
proud to
little
power
bit.
the new Sony PlayStation 5 with a high-performance custom chip featuring our AMD Ryzen CPU and AMD Radeon GPU technology. And
How's
we are
that?
equally proud that custom AMD processors also power the new Microsoft Xbox Series X and Series S consoles, again, featuring our high-performance Ryzen and Radeon technologies. These consoles are bringing just incredible technology to gamers all over the world and are really a result of just deep engineering partnerships over many, many years with both Sony and Microsoft. Now, gaming is at the heart of so much of what we do at AMD. Whether you're talking about PCs or consoles or cloud gaming and mobile. AMD loves gaming, and we like to say gaming begins with AMD. So today, we're going to talk specifically
Yeah,
about
geez,
our
she got some
next-gen
crazy
gaming
heels,
platform.
you're right.
So let's talk a little bit about Ryzen. Now, you guys know we brought the first generation of Ryzen to market in 2017. And we actually had one goal. It was to build the best PC desktop
All right, some people want it
processor
louder.
possible.
I can turn it up a little bit.
Now, we knew we wouldn't get there in one step, but with each generation of Ryzen, it's gotten better. And we focused on how do we deliver more performance? How do we deliver the best features? And how do we give more capabilities to all of you PC enthusiasts so that you can do more than you ever thought with your desktop or in your notebook? And we've made great, great progress. We started with Ryzen in desktops, and then we introduced Ryzen Threadripper in high-end desktops. And now, actually, Ryzen is in many amazing notebook systems with our Ryzen 4000 series. I think it's safe to say that AMD loves the PC, And I think also it's safe to say that PC users love Ryzen. So we really appreciate that.
100%.
Now look, let's just focus on the desktop for a few minutes. The progress we have made over the last few years has been really amazing. If you look at the market before Ryzen, the desktop PC was on sort of an incremental performance slope for the last many years. Now, over the past 3 years, we've significantly changed that trajectory and really completely reset expectations as we've gone from first-gen Ryzen to second-gen, now to third-gen Ryzen. We were the first to launch a 7-nanometer desktop processor, and today, third-gen Ryzen leads in so many areas. We're the highest in multi-threaded performance. We are the best in terms of power efficiency, and third-gen Ryzen is an absolutely great gaming processor. But as you know, we're really ambitious. So our work with Ryzen is never done.
All right, how's that?
Our engineers have been on this maniacal focus of what can we do more? What can we do better? So today, we're here to talk about our brand new CPU core. You've all been waiting for it. It's all about Zen 3. And with Zen 3, we focused again on bringing the best to the PC market. I'm so proud of what we've accomplished. Zen 3 increases our lead in overall performance. It increases our lead in power efficiency. And also now, it delivers the best single-threaded performance and gaming performance as well.
There we go.
We've made massive changes in the core architecture, and I'm sure all of you want to know what's inside Zen 3. So let me hand it over to AMD CTO Mark Papermaster to give you all the details. Mark?
Here we go. Fastest single-threaded performance.
Well, thank you, Lisa. I couldn't be more excited than to share a little bit more about Zen 3 and our progression to get here. It's been quite a journey. We set a course
shipping
over 5 years
Q4
ago
2020.
to design a family of high-performance x86 CPUs. Our goal, very simply, outright leadership. We set up the team so that development of multiple processor generations could be done in parallel, with designers leapfrogging from one generation to another. This has resulted in consistent delivery to the market as promised. I could not be more proud than to help unveil our third generation of Zen Core debuting in Ryzen desktops this fall. It is a beast in performance and will deliver absolute leadership in the x86 market. Zen brought us back into high performance with a 52% improvement in instruction per clock in a single generation. It built a strong base for us to build upon as we developed the Zen family. Last year, Zen 2 brought double-digit % increase in instruction per clock and debuted 7-nanometer in chiplet technology. That 7-nanometer efficiency enabled leadership, multi-core performance, and core density. The innovative chiplet implementation allowed us ease of manufacturing with the small 7-nanometer die and scalability to leadership core counts. And now Zen 3. Wow, what a great job by the design team to improve every aspect of the CPU, delivering leadership performance in that
there
same
it is, higher max
7-nanometer
boost,
node.
significant
Higher
IPC
frequency,
uplift.
higher instruction per clock, with design improvements across all of the CPU components, and lower latency on top of that. You look at some of the key elements. There's a new layout of our processor that brings all the cores onto a unified 8-core complex.
There it is.
And that accelerates core-to-core communication.
8-core
That's
CCX.
especially helpful for gaming workloads. That consolidation actually allows every core to directly access the 32 megabytes of L3 cache. And that dramatically accelerates workloads that are latency sensitive, like gaming. And finally, significant changes throughout the Zen 3 architecture, generating a 19% instruction per clock uplift. That's on top of the significant gains that we had just in the mid of last year with Zen 2. Altogether,
19%.
Zen 3 is our most significant architectural update yet across the Zen family. We made the Zen 3 floating point and integer execution units wider, more flexible, and allows us to deliver more execution capability to the user at a lower latency. We've increased the number of loads and stores that we can do versus Zen 2, helping us feed those wider execution capabilities of Zen 3. We've added more branch prediction bandwidth, It allows Zen 3 to tackle back-to-back predictions much more quickly, reducing the delays. We call it zero bubble. These innovations keep Zen 3 ahead of the industry norm on generational improvements and position Zen 3-based Ryzen to be a clear desktop performance leader. Microprocessor performance engineering never has one single bullet. It takes focused microprocessor engineering. It's a broad set of improvements that
Rest
are
in
needed
peace,
to make a
Intel.
great architecture. It takes innovation on all of the key levers. Zen 3 is a total front-to-back redesign. The microarchitecture had laser focus on performance on every element. End-to-end improvements, caching, load store, our execution units, our prefetching, our dispatch, our decode. Zen 2, in fact, had been organized with 2 4-core cache complexes, and it was tightly integrated. That was a very good design, but what we found is that we brought that together into that single unified cache core complex, that we brought that direct access to 32 megabytes of L3 cache rather than the 16 megabytes that we have with Zen 2. That direct access to a cache pool of this size is very significant for gaming. They tend to make frequent use, of course, of the memory subsystem, and in fact, many games have a dominant thread. And that makes especially heavy use of the cache, and that thread now sees effectively twice the L3 cache in Zen 3. So every core can now communicate directly to the cache without traversing across the die, and that reduces latency. And it stays synchronized for applications using AI, audio, physics, and more. You can see that we continue our relentless commitment to energy efficiency with every generation. We're always honing our design methodologies to focus on performance per watt, even as we make the processors faster for gamers. Zen 3 is no different, delivering up to 24% improvement in power efficiency versus the prior generation. That's double-digit performance per watt uplift in the same process node. And that's on top of all the architectural changes that we drove in to drive up the performance. Our commitment to energy efficiency across time has put us in the driver's seat. Today, we're more than 2.8x more efficient than competing high-end desktop processors. And that's only a strengthening of the leadership that we demonstrated during the prior Zen 2 era. We will not let up going forward. We're focused on execution.
AMD's on a roll.
Zen 3 is shipping as promised, and the 5-nanometer Zen 4 on track, in design. The AMD team is hitting on all cylinders, and there's no shortage of innovations for the next generation of Zen processors to keep AMD in the forefront and deliver the best compute experience for our customers. Thank you, and let me welcome back Lisa to now show off our Zen 3 and new Ryzen processors.
Oh, man.
Thank you, Mark. That was great. I'm so proud of what the team has accomplished with Zen 3. We really focused on what is most important for gamers and enthusiasts. And at 19% IPC increase, it's our largest increase generation over generation since we launched the Zen family. So now let's see Zen 3 in action. I'm so proud to show you for the very first time the AMD Ryzen 5000 series for high-performance PCs, the world's first Zen 3 powered CPU. This is the AMD Ryzen 9-5900X.
Knew it.
12 cores, 24 threads, and a boost up to 4.8 gigahertz.
Ooh, I was 100 megahertz
It's a very
off.
special product, the ultimate enthusiast processor. Compared to the 3900 XT, the 5900X has 19% higher IPC, higher clock speeds, and all of the Zen 3 core improvements that Mark talked about, all while remaining at 105 watts. This makes Ryzen 5900X a big upgrade from 3rd gen Ryzen all around, but especially in gaming. Now let me turn it over to Robert Halleck to show you the 5900X in action.
Man, I've been talking about this stuff for a long time, but it's 8-core
Thanks,
CCX.
Lisa. Hey everyone, let me give you a
speeds.
sense of just how much faster the 5900X is compared to our current best, the 3900 XT. To do that, we're going to use Shadow of the Tomb Raider, a game I personally love, and a game reviewers often look at to judge CPU performance. We're going to run the built-in benchmark here at 1080p using the high image quality preset on 2 otherwise identical
Thanks for the $5,
systems.
Tim Richardson.
You can see a whopping 28% increase just by moving from the 39XT to the 5900X in Shadow of the Tomb Raider. And as you will soon see, the performance from the 5900X is faster than the competing processors as well. Now, as any enthusiast knows, 28% from a processor change is a massive upgrade.
That's insane.
But that's what AMD customers, like me, can look forward to. This truly demonstrates the gaming strength for Zen 3 when you combine the historic IPC uplift, unified cores, and unified cache pools. Now, as we zoom out to look at a wider set of games, you can see that the 28% uplift in Shadow of the Tomb Raider is joined by many titles with significant double-digit performance improvements.
Look at that CSGO
The gains
result.
are even bigger in titles like CSGO and League of Legends, where the highest possible frame rate is practically the #1 priority to be competitive.
46%.
Overall, gamers upgrading from the Ryzen 3000 series to the Ryzen 5000 series can expect an average performance improvement of 26% at 1080p.
I said 25%.
Again, this is just a monumental performance
So
jump
close.
for an in-socket upgrade in the same motherboard, and a true testament for how good Zen 3 is in gaming. Now, as many know, strong gaming performance relies on strong single-core performance. That's exactly what Zen 3 has. And I want to show you using Cinebench R20 single-thread. There are many ways to assess single-thread performance, but Cinebench is a fast and easy tool that you can run at home, and it's one of the 25 workloads that we used to calculate the 19% improvement for Zen 3's instructions per cycle. As you can see, the 5900X is the first desktop processor to ever break a 600 score. We don't break it by a little, we break it by a lot, with a score of 631. We at AMD heard you loud and clear
All the leaks
as you
are
challenged
true.
us to continue investing in single-core performance, and the results speak for themselves. The combination of IPC, frequency, cores, and cache give AMD the fastest cores in the desktop market and give you the best possible gaming performance. So let's take that landmark core performance into a head-to-head battle. Across the same set of games you just saw, the AMD Ryzen 9 5900X is a clear winner at 1080p. As I promised you, AMD wins in Shadow of the Tomb Raider by +6, and is joined by many other games popular with reviewers and users like you. League of Legends and CSGO are once again standout victories for the Ryzen 9 5900X. So that was a lot of data very quickly. Let's take a step back. Let's recap. You saw an average uplift of 26% for Ryzen customers upgrading from the 3000 series to the 5000 series. You just watched AMD deliver the highest single-core performance in the entire desktop PC market. And you just saw AMD clearly offer the best performance of any gaming processor on the market. I will put it plainly. We know that you're going to wait for benchmarks, but customers who buy processors purely for their gaming performance will absolutely want a Ryzen 9 5900X for the best possible PC gaming experience. Now let's bring Lisa back up to give you more details on these awesome gaming processors.
Man, all the leaks were right. This is crazy.
Thanks, Robert. That was fantastic. I hope you're all now convinced that the Ryzen 9 5900X is the best gaming processor in the world. Now let's look at the stack. In the 5000 series, we have a great choice for every gamer or PC enthusiast. In addition to the 5900X, we have the 5800X, an 8-core, 16-thread processor with boost frequencies up to 4.7 gigahertz at 105 watts. And we also have the 5600X, a 6-core, 12-thread CPU with boost frequencies up to 4.6 gigahertz at 65 watts. Now let's talk about price and availability. The 6-core 5600X is $299. The 8-core 5800X is $449.
That's exactly what I expected.
And the amazing 5900X, combining the leadership performance and power efficiency of Zen 3 in a 12-core 7-nanometer design, is priced at $549.
It's $50
And
premium.
all of these will be available globally on November 5th. We're really proud of the 5000 series, but you know we're not done. We love our enthusiasts, and there's one more processor in our stack, which
Ooh.
is the ultimate processor for gaming and content creation. For those of you who want the very best processor in a desktop PC, we have the 16-core Ryzen 9-5900X.
There it
the
is.
The 5950X is simply an amazing CPU.
4.9.
16 cores, 32 threads, and our fastest processor with boost frequencies up to 4.9 gigahertz. The 5950X breaks the Cinebench R20 single-threaded record that Robert set just a few minutes ago with a score of 640. It is truly the best in class in every dimension. Best gaming performance meets best processor for content creation, and all of this still at 105 watts. Now let's take a look at some of the performance. If we look at the generational uplift from the 3950X to the 5950X, we see up to 27% more performance in CAD workloads and 12% more performance in rendering workloads. More impressively, we see up to 29% more gaming performance. And this is really how we bring the best of both worlds together. The best for gamers and the best for creators. And now, if you put 5950X against the top of the stack from the competition, we see that the 5950X provides up to 59% more creative performance in rendering workloads, double-digit wins in video editing and software compiling, and we also win in lightly threaded CAD workloads as well. We're really proud of the fact that we also win in gaming. There's nothing like the 5950X in the world. One processor that delivers the best power efficiency, our highest clock speeds, the highest single-core performance in the industry, and the highest multi-core performance of any gaming processor. And it's priced at $799 and will also be available globally on November 5th. I hope you're now as excited about AMD Ryzen 5000
Price
series
went up.
as I
Price
am.
went up.
Zen 3 is really amazing, and I'm so happy we could show it to you today. But you guys send me a lot of notes and a lot of tweets, and I know that you're not just excited about Ryzen 5000 series, but there's a tremendous amount of enthusiasm and curiosity about our Radeon lineup as well. So the next few weeks are just an amazing time for us. In addition to introducing our Ryzen 5000 series, we're also going to introduce our next-gen Radeon GPU, and I want to give you a small preview of that today.
Oh, they're
This is
showing
the
it.
AMD Radeon RX 6000 series, which we now affectionately call Big Navi, thanks to many of you who nicknamed it for us. It is absolutely gorgeous and by far the most powerful gaming GPU we have ever built. We got a lot of requests from our fans on social, and I heard a whole conversation on The Full Nerd last week about wanting to see Zen 3 and Big Navi in action. So today, I'm going to show you a preview of what you can expect
Here
from
we go.
AMD Ryzen 9-5900X and our Radeon 6000 series. We've been doing a tremendous amount of work optimizing gameplay with Ryzen 5000 and Radeon 6000 series. So let me show you today Borderlands 3, which is a very popular AAA title running at 4K resolution on the Ryzen 5900X and our Radeon 6000 series. Just take a look at that performance. Over 60 frames per second at 4K with beautiful image quality. We are super excited with what we've accomplished with Big Navi. In addition to Borderlands 3, here's a bit more of a performance preview on Call of Duty Modern Warfare and Gears of War 5 at ultra settings in 4K. And again, what you see is tremendous 4K performance across the board. We still have a few weeks until launch, and the team is working really hard on fine-tuning things. But I hope you're as excited as we are about what Ryzen 5000 series and Radeon 6000 series can do together for your next-generation PC. So that brings us to the end. I hope you enjoyed today. It's been so much fun spending time with you. We have a lot more to show you later this month, so join us again on October 28th, where we'll give you the full story of our AMD Radeon RX 6000 series. And make sure you mark your calendar for November 5th to find Ryzen 5000 series on shelf worldwide. Take care and see you soon.
Wow. So those processors are really impressive. I am very quickly going to see if I can find benchmarks for, I believe they said it was Modern Warfare. I'm trying to find some benchmarks real quick here. And I don't think was that Modern Warfare. Let's go back and look real quick here. Let's go back and look. Let me mute this. Before we move on to anything else, I got to take a look at this again because this is really important. As much as I love these CPUs, I got to take a look at this because I was not expecting to see anything about Radeon. So the fact that they give us any performance numbers, I got to take a look, and we're going to find out right here. Call of Duty Modern Warfare DirectX 12. DirectX 12 benchmark. Let's find out. We gotta get this figured out. Okay. All right, let's see what we got. And the other thing is, like, is this with ray tracing or is this with no ray tracing? That's my question. I have no idea. Those Zen 3 prices suck, someone said. Man, the 5900X price is not bad. I expect it to be $550, but that 5800X price, that's bad. I'm gonna be honest with you guys, like $450, go buy a 3700X. Like, no thanks for that. Like, that's you're talking like near Intel prices there. So, not impressed by the 5800X. Hopefully they have a 5700X. Because $450 for an 8-core, that's not good. All right, thank you, Danis Mudasdu, for the £5. YouTube Call of Duty Modern Warfare RTX 3080 plus 10900K. All right, and then we got a super chat. Thank you, John York, for the $10. Yeah, hold on. Let me find real quick what we can see here. So if we look at where is it? Why is this website impossible to navigate? I'm just trying to pick. Okay, here's 4K. So the 2080 Ti in Tech Radar's review with ray tracing gets 57.7 frames per second on average. Now the question is, were they doing ray tracing? I don't know. So that's kind of throws a wrench in it. So let me look up 2080 Ti Borderlands 3 4K. Let's look this up real quick here, because we need to get to the bottom of this before we talk about Zen, because there's a lot to talk about with Zen, but I need to figure out here what is going on, and then I'll get something. I'm just gonna have this play in the background without any audio, so that you have something to watch here. But okay, Borderlands 3, 1080p, 1440p, and 4K. Okay, Borderlands 3. Here we go. 1080p. Where is it? 1440p, 4K. Okay. So with the 2080 Ti Founders Edition, it gets in DirectX 12 and Borderlands 3 65 frames per second. And if we go ahead and we take a look here at what they just showed. Where was it? Here it is, 61 frames per second. So you're telling me that this graphics card that they just tested in DirectX 12 is not even as good as the 2080 Ti? Is that what you're trying to tell me? Because if that's what you're trying to tell me, AMD, that ain't good enough. This better be your 6800 XT. Because if you... Man, and you know, maybe that explains the 256-bit bus, because that's been going around and people have been saying like, oh, the cache is gonna completely fix it. The 80 compute units are gonna be extremely fast. You do the math, the 80 compute units should be like wicked fast. But the problem is, the problem is that I lost my train of thought because I was looking at here. 28. Oh, here someone said 2080 Ti is only 48 to 50 FPS and badass 4K. Man, am I? Oh, because this is ultra detail. Okay, so maybe badass detail is that what I'm looking for? Borderlands 3, 4K badass. Let's see. Where do they have that? let's see, 2080. Well, I'll look at a video real quick here. So just taking a look at it, I wish they would actually give you a chart, but yeah, it looks like it's getting closer to 50 frames a second throughout the. Okay, so maybe that. Yeah, I had the wrong detail settings. Okay, thank God. Thank you for pointing that out to me. It looks like it averages between 66 to 41 frames per second throughout this video. So let's do some real quick. I'm going to talk about, I'm going to start taking questions here soon, but I just got to get to the bottom of this real quick because this is really important to me. Because this is like information we don't fully know here. So if we take, what was it, 66 minus 41. Okay. Did it get up to 66? So yeah, so that would mean, I don't know, it's still like averaging, it's saying that on badass quality that like this thing is still averaging over 50 frames a second. So let's say, because I wish I had a better way of looking at it, but let's say that the 2080 Ti, because I'm just using the 2080 Ti as a baseline. Let's say in a worst case scenario, it gets like 50 frames a second. Well, you're looking at a GPU that is not that much faster. I mean, if we pull out the calculator real quick here, let's say that the 2080 Ti only gets 50 frames per second on badass quality, and I think it gets more. But let's just say in a worst case scenario, you got 61 divided by 50. You're looking at a GPU that's only 22% faster. That is not fast enough to beat the RTX 3080. So this cannot be like, if this is the 6900 XT that they just showed us, which it might not be, but if it is, I don't understand, AMD, how you were able to double your compute units, get an increase in IPC and an increase in your clock speed, and you somehow were only able to pull a 22% lead over the 2080 Ti, basically landing you just below the 3080, which I've been saying for a while that don't be surprised if AMD gives you something that's just a little bit slower than the 3080. Now, if the price is right, that is where it matters. But this might not be biggest Navi. This might be the 6800 XT, because I have a feeling that they're holding their 80 compute unit card close to the chest. I have a feeling that that card is going to end up beating a 3080, but we don't know. So interesting to take a look at that, but let's go ahead and talk more just about Ryzen itself, because this was a very interesting live stream. Talking about Ryzen. So I want to start with the prices. And I touched on this earlier. I'm open to questions now. Feel free to start asking questions, but I'm going to talk about this real quick. Starting with the prices, I'm okay with the 5900X price. It's not terrible. Why is this not playing? Oh, I guess they made it private now. Okay. Yeah, it must not be live anymore. Interesting. Oh, no, it is. Okay, I just want this to play in the background. But in any case, you know, it's like this. The 5900X price isn't too bad because it comes in at a price of, you know, just $50 more than the 3900X launched at, and at that price, it's a premium product. It's not too bad. Now, if it comes with a cooler, that won't be as bad, but I think enthusiasts are okay paying for that. It's basically a leading class performance type of product here. It looks like it's just going to slightly edge out Intel in gaming. It's got an enormous jump in other tasks that aren't gaming related as well in terms of single-threaded performance. I'd have to do the numbers, but I think it looked like it was maybe only 5 to 10% faster than Intel on average. So not quite as impressive as people were thinking, because I think there's still just that DRAM latency inherent in this design. But where it starts to get bad is when you look at, I think especially the 5800X is a great example of AMD's been trying to get their margin up on those 8-core processors for a long time. They keep pushing it up. YouTube 3080 Borderlands 4K, it's not far. Yeah, I will. But so they keep pushing their prices up, and they've reached a point now where, like, okay, even if you're slightly faster at $450, you're not offering much value when compared to Intel. I mean, other than the fact that you can slap it on a B450 motherboard, but you have to flash the BIOS on that thing. So for new buyers, when they're going out and they're looking at a 10700K and a 5800X, you looking at it and you're thinking to yourself, which one should I buy? And it's not as clear. It's genuinely not as clear. If this 5800X came in at like $380, $350, that would be an obvious choice. So I'm really hoping that there's going to be a 5700X, because frankly, guys, that is too expensive. That is way too expensive to be charging for that processor. I get that it's the fastest, but come on now. All right, my 39, thank you, Dan and Mudas do for the £5. My 3950X with EDC 0 does 10,540 on our 20 stock 5950X will be about that, maybe better. However, do you think the overclock 5950X, do you think you can overclock it as much as 3950X? Could not overclock the 3950X much. I don't expect that you'll be able to overclock the new processors that well either. I was able to get a score of 562 on my 3900XT for single threaded in. No, that wasn't R20. That was CPU-Z. But in any case, going back to the price, yeah, 5800X, bad price, like actually a bad price. And the 5600XT, or 5600X is also a bad price. Like $300 is too expensive. I'm okay with the 5900X. I'm not okay with the 5800X. I'm not okay with the 5600X. And at this point, if I was buying a new PC, I would start to strongly consider looking at last generation parts, because if they come down in price, which they might, it's kind of a good deal. I mean, it's going to be hard to get your hands on these too. Yeah, man, that 6-core one is way too expensive. Way too expensive. We're talking near Intel levels now. So, not happy about that. Hopefully there are cheaper models. Like if we get a 5700X and a 5600, I think that's where it's going to be at. Because if you can drop those in at cheaper prices, that makes a lot more sense. But overall, in terms of performance, these are like mind-blowing increases. So I understand why they're trying to charge more. I get it. I just don't think it was the right move. It's definitely not consumer friendly, but AMD's a different company now. They are trying to focus on making margin. So anyway, at this point, I think I've said most of what I want to say about this. I'm like genuinely kind of shocked by how fast these processors are. And I'm definitely getting the 5900X. I'm definitely doing overclocking content. So if you're watching, you're not subscribed, be sure to be subscribed, because as soon as I can get my hands on these processors, I'm getting them, I'm overclocking them, doing all kinds of crazy stuff with them. But at this point, go ahead and just start asking questions. I'll try and get back to as many of you as I can for a little bit here, and then I will have to leave fairly shortly just because I'm going to have to make a video. So, you see, justify the heathens. I see that. Oh my Lord. Someone take your internet away. Enough out of you. But, all right. How fast is 5600X compared to 3600? I would expect it to be in line with that rough. They said the 3900X was 26% faster on average in games. Like, wow. I'm expecting between 20 to 27% faster out of the 5600X. It's what I'd expect. 3600's kind of slower, so it could end up being kind of closer to that 27%. But yeah, I get why they feel like they can charge more, because they can. Because to be honest with you guys, this is probably going to beat Intel in pretty much every single task, as I've been saying for a long time. And you know what else is funny is I feel very vindicated, because I've been saying, like before there were even rumors of it, I was saying they're going to move to an 8-core CCX design. I've been saying this for like basically since Zen 2 came out. I've been saying that they're going to unify the cache. I've been saying they're going to have a big IPC jump. I was saying expect it probably at least 15%. And then recently I said it's going to be 25% faster, and it was 26% faster. And it's not like, look, I'm not saying like, oh, I'm a genius and you're not. You do not have to be a genius to figure this stuff out. I think when you just take a look at the microarchitecture and you just look at it and just obvious ways it could improve, it kind of just stuck out at you. So it makes a lot of sense to me. Have you seen benchmarks anywhere of 5800X versus 5900X? No, but like, to be honest with you, in gaming, here's where I expect it to land. Basically, the 5900X will be like probably 1-2% faster, like actually, just because you'll have more resources that aren't being used. Someone says, don't upgrade if your system's properly working. Don't spend that much for 10 to 20% performance. So here's my thoughts, Mark. To be honest with you, I think if you want to upgrade, you should wait. I think that makes a whole lot more sense, because they're probably going to come down in price, because Intel will launch their 11th gen parts, and they'll probably just barely take back their gaming lead again, like just barely. And then AMD will follow suit by lowering their price. And at that point, perfect time to buy. All right, we got a super chat in here. Thank you so much, Jordan Dude OHS. I see you didn't buy any WD-40 with my $2 more. Look, I did buy WD-40. It is upstairs. I'm going to get to it. Same thing as I'm going to get to this little gap here. Not today, but I will get to it as soon as I have a chance to get to it, probably within the next couple days. But yes, thank you for the $2. I will get to it. AMD will release non-X variants most of the time. Yeah, there will be cheaper processors that launch than this. You will be able to get it. Check the end credits for test details and then freeze frame it. Yeah, sure. Our disrupting desktop performance chart based on AMD internal data. Testing by AMD Performance Labs of 9/1/2020. IPC evaluated a selection of 25 workloads running at a locked 4 GHz frequency on 8-core Zen 2, Ryzen 7 3800X, and Zen 3, Ryzen 7 5800X desktop processors configured with Windows 10. That's bizarre that they locked it to 4 GHz, but they clearly did that for a reason. WD-40 chair spray stream incoming. I don't think anyone would watch that, but oh Lord. Thank you, Jordan Dude OHS, once again for the $2. And then thank you, Lashin Hulm, for the 10 Aussie dollars. He says, thank you for the great stream, watching it after my overnight shift here in Australia, currently 4 a.m. Building my first system soon after heaps of anticipation. I'm so keen. Yeah, it's almost a great time to build a PC, because we just had a bunch of new stuff released. The prices have gotten better in general than they were like a year or two ago. However, you cannot get any RTX 30 series cards. I mean, the thing that shocks me is that, like, I operate a YouTube channel where I do news, I do reviews, I do overclocking. I know some people, but not many. I could not get a 30 series card. I reached out to the people from EVGA. I reached out to basically every single company, and they're like, all our review samples are gone. We didn't have very many. I couldn't even get one. And then I'm like, okay, understandable. I don't have a massive channel. Nobody owes me anything. Let me go try and buy one. I've been sitting here since the release, trying to get one that hasn't been reviewed yet, so I can do a review on it, like one of the more interesting ones, like the Asus Strix or the For the Win 3 or the Gigabyte Extreme coming out, or some crazy stuff like that. Cannot find them. They're in stock, and then by the time, like, you could be literally sitting there refreshing the page, it'll say in stock, you go to click on it, boom, gone. It's just like, this is insane. All right, thank you, Sojobo, for the £2. I have a i5-7600K and I need to upgrade. Do I buy Zen 3? I think that really depends. Like, if you want basically the best processor you can get, yes, because you can get on a platform with PCIe 4. But if you don't need the best processor, you might be better off going and buying a B450 motherboard and a Ryzen 3000 series processor for really cheap, like a 6-core or an 8-core processor, such as the 3600 or 3700X. Get that really cheap. drop it in, and at some point in the future, if you want to upgrade again to like an 8 or 12 core processor with higher IPC and better gaming performance, you can just BIOS flash your B450 motherboard and drop those processors in. That's probably what I would do, because at this point you're going to have to wait a long time anyway to get these processors. Who knows if they'll even be widely available on launch. And even if they are, they're going to be more expensive, and they will drop in price probably pretty significantly later on. Is it worth skipping Zen 3 and leapfrogging on Zen 5 nanometer? Well, I mean, if you don't need to upgrade your CPU, then yeah, skip a generation. Let me look here. Okay. Yeah, max boost for AMD Ryzen and Athlon processors is the maximum frequency achieved by a single core on the processor running a bursty single-threaded workload. So basically, like, they will, like, 4.9 gigahertz on one core, and then it's like if you jumped up and you were trying to pull yourself up, but you couldn't quite reach it, but you touched it. You're like, yeah, I did it. I pulled myself up. Like, did you, though? No, you didn't. Oh man. Yeah, so I do really want to make a like full video on this soon here though. So if you have questions, I'm probably going to be on for the next 10 to 15 minutes. This stream isn't going to be quite as long as my last one. If you have questions in, right now would be the time to ask them, and I will try and get back to as many of you as I can, but there are quite a few comments coming in. Gosh, it's getting dry in here. All right. Graphically challenged, want to stay under $300. Should I get a 3700X or 5600X or 5600X or 3600 XT? I think right now what I would do is get a 3700X, slap it on a B450 motherboard. The same thing I told the other guy. Like, you're gonna have to wait a long time anyway for 5000 series, so. All right, we got, thank you, Jeremy Swift, so much for the $10. Helps a lot. Okay, he said, hey, dude, I'm still rocking 3770K at 4.2 gigahertz. Is the 3800 XT on sale for $386 worth it? Or is the 3700X still just better? So, in my opinion, the XT processor, I have one. I have a 3900 XT, and I would tell you do not buy one. Because they're more expensive and they're generally not worth it. It was just kind of interesting as an overclocking type of thing, but they're really not much faster. So yeah, definitely go for the 3700X. It's so much cheaper. Sometimes you can even get them for like $280, and that'd be a massive increase over the 3770K. I mean, you're talking doubling your core count and probably getting slightly better gaming performance. Though I'd have to double check on that one how much better it really is, because it might really not be that much better. All right, got another super chat here from Flupa. Thank you for the $5. All right, let's see what we got. All right, graphically challenged. When do you think 11th gen CPUs are coming out? I think early to mid 2021. Early if everything goes to plan. If things don't go to plan, mid. And if it's a disaster, late. Like, but they're on the same 14 nanometers, so I don't see how it'd be a disaster. And you just like have this right here. Oh man. I just had some go down the wrong tube. Wonderful. 631, wow, yeah. Yeah, that is a fast single-threaded result, I'll tell you that much. How much should I buy a 20 series card for used? It better be really cheap, like really cheap, because like if you're going out and you're buying like say a 2080 for $500, my opinion, no, because 3070 is gonna be $500. So if you want a 2080, it better be like at most $400. Like if you're buying a 20 series card, it has to have a significant discount. And the problem is that they aren't significantly discounted right now because there's just not enough graphics cards out at all for people to buy. I think even AMD cards are hard to find at this point because they're releasing new cards soon. So, yeah, it's just kind of hard. All right, thank you, Nocturnal316, for the $5. Hey, I'm upgrading an i7-5930K. Should I go for 10900K or 5900X? I mean, you're going to have to get a new motherboard and everything anyway. If you're trying to get the best, like, basically the way I see it is the performance between those two processors, I don't think you'll notice. Whether or not AMD wins in a specific title, because they'll probably win overall by like 5 to 10%. Don't take my word for it. I need to do a little bit more research on that. I'll be putting out a video on it. Like, literally, it'll be live in probably 3 to 4 hours from now. Maybe even sooner. But, like, say AMD wins by 5%. You're not going to notice. What you're buying into is the platform. And for me, the AMD platform is much stronger right now because, yes, Intel, you can drop an 11th gen processor in their Z490 boards coming up right now, but 10900K does not have PCIe 4 right now. And some of the boards, it sounds like to me there's going to be limited PCIe 4 on those Z490 boards, so even if you drop an 11th gen processor, maybe you're just looking at PCIe on the X16 slot and maybe one M.2, I'm not sure. It seems like Ryzen has a stronger platform right now, and it's generally cheaper, but it kind of depends. So, like, if you can get the Asus TUF X570 board for $165 and drop into 5900X, it's a pretty good deal. But I don't know if you have to do BIOS updates. Like, it's really weird to me that they're not releasing new motherboards with these processors. I assume they just work, like you just drop them in and they just work. I guess. All right, we got to get this one figured out. 200. Gosh, I swear you told me what this was. NOK. What? But thank you for the 200. Let me look this up real quick. I'm gonna not embarrass myself real quick. Norwegian krone. Okay. So that's actually, yeah. Thanks, man. That is a big, that's like $21 US. Thanks a lot. Thank you, Sander Rasmussen. First, I just want to say thanks a lot for your content. It's so useful. Going to build a PC and get the 3080 today, and I'm wondering if I'm going to buy the 3000 or wait for 5000 series. What's your thoughts on it? Well, I think it really depends on what you want. Like, for me, I guess it's easy to say because I run a YouTube channel and I'm going to buy it no matter what. But, like, to me, if I was just building a PC to build a PC, I'm someone who I like to try and get close to the best as I can. So I won't buy the 5950X, but I'll buy the 5900X because it's, like, the second best thing you can buy. So for me, as that type of consumer, I would buy the 5000 series. But if at the same time, there's certain, like, I'm willing to not buy as fast as a graphics card right now because I don't really use it. So, like, if you're someone who it doesn't matter as much for you, then you can easily get away with, like, just going with the Ryzen 3000 route and later upgrading to Ryzen 5000. So it really depends. Do you want the best right now, or are you okay having just a minor, performance loss? And it also depends, like, it's going to be a while till you get your 3080. So, like, unless you're getting it. Like, if you're getting it now, then buy Ryzen 3000 would be my advice, I guess. Because, again, you can always slap in a 5000 series processor and sell your 3000 series processor if you feel like you need to upgrade. Ryzen 3000 isn't really going to hold back the 3080 in a significant way unless you're playing at, like, 1080p. Not even really at 1440p. So I think probably you're better at getting a 3000 series now and then maybe later upgrading if you feel like you need to. But again, it depends. All right, thank you, John York, for the $15. How long until you have a neck brace? At this rate, probably days. The last time I did that, and I'm going to have to do it again for a video today, I was like, oh man, my neck. So, yeah. I mean, join my Patreon to pay for my future medical bills that are gonna ensue from doing these video intros. Or we're getting, it's gonna happen. All right, so I'll probably go for about another 10 minutes here. I'll go a little bit longer. Just do 10 minutes longer, and then I got to start working on this video to give my final thoughts on the 5900X and 5800X. Wow, we have a lot of people watching right now. 2,599. That's actually a lot more than I thought there would be. I never even checked. But in any case, if you have any questions in, get them in right now, as I won't be around too much longer. All right. Help, 3950 or 5900. What's the difference? Well, the 3950 is 16 core, 5900X is 12 core. I think if you get, I don't think it makes sense to get the 3950X over the 5900 at this point unless like you really need those extra cores, which chances are you don't. But hey, I don't know your situation. Do you think it's worth waiting till Black Friday for 3900X and 3700X deals? Like maybe. I don't know. Because like we don't know if they're even gonna really do that. I'm gonna size this up now. Yeah, I'm not 100% sure if they'll even do that. But in any case, we got another. Thank you, Sander Rasmussen, for the 50 Norwegian krones. So that would be, let's convert it to dollars, $5. Thank you very much. Received a 3080 gigabyte Vision in the mail today. Just want to say thanks and keep up the good work. Man, that's pretty great because I've been trying and like I'm home a lot because I work from home right now doing this. And somehow, even with pages sitting up with auto notify and all kinds of stuff emailing me, I can't get one. I don't know what the deal is. I don't know if it's like my servers are too slow or something. Like I just can't get it in time. I have no idea. All right, and then Christopher Allen says, is it fair to assume that going with the 5900X and Radeon 6000 series versus 10700K and 3080 is a lateral move or slight upgrade due to PCIe 4? I mean, 3080 has PCIe 4 as well, and like I don't know if Big Navi's gonna be faster, because she got on stage and said this is Big Navi and showed numbers, and I'm like, okay, yeah, but is it biggest Navi? You've shown me Big Navi, but is it biggest Navi? Because heard you got a big one. I heard they're hiding something, but they might not be hiding something. They might have literally shown us their hand right now. And if that's the case, yikes! Like, not good enough AMD, but not surprised. Kinda like AMD's they've been disappointing on their Radeon team for some time now. It's like well, we'll see. I'm on the choo-choo train. I think Big Navi's going to be faster than the 3080, but it might not. It could not be. It could be like slightly slower. We'll see. Man, my lips are dry. Give you a look. Anyway, is this oh, that was one from earlier. Okay. Where is Navi 20? I don't know. I know Navi 21 is supposedly the one that they're kind of like holding for themselves. We'll see. We'll see when that is. All right, thank you, Tyler Kelly, for the $5. Is 3900X for $400 worth it, or should I just get the 5900X? In my opinion, I mean, that's $150 cheaper. It depends on how much you want the 5900X, because like for me, like I said, I'm getting it because I'm going to review it. But if you don't need it, I mean, saving $150, it's a lot. I mean, it's a big savings. And, like, you got to remember, the games that they showed, like, they showed CSGO for a reason. They showed that 46% gain for a reason. So when they say it's a 26% uplift on average, you got to keep in mind that, like, really on average, it's probably not going to quite be that high. All right. Thank you, Ray, for the... Oh, man. PHP. Let's look this up real quick. But let's find out what this is. Let's find out. Philippine peso. All right. Epic. I think that comes... Yeah. Thank you for the 50 cents. I think I did that right. Unless I looked it up wrong. But I'm not sure. I might have gotten, like, all of these wrong. I might... Yep, someone got it. Philippine peso. 50 cents, baby. $half. Hey, I'll take it. Thank you for your support. All right, when do you think we'll see 5,000 Threadripper? I think it'll be a little bit. Probably around the time, slightly after 5950X, because I think that'll launch later. Boris says, no reason for a new chipset. Yeah, there isn't. I'm just like, it's a thing that they usually do so that people who go out and buy computers feel confident. So they're like, ooh, new CPU, new chipset. Boom. It work. You know, like that's just a mindset. But anyway, thank you, Mass Sauce, for the Australian 5. Hardware Unboxed has checked Big Navi's numbers, and apparently it's 3080 equivalent. Check the end of their latest video. Okay. It's pretty good. I mean, it really depends on the price. I mean, if AMD's coming in and they're asking $700 for that card, and that is their 6900 XT, and they don't have anything faster, they can go pound sand. Like, I'm sorry, but that is not good enough. But if you're coming in, I had someone tell me that that card would be like $550. If that's the case, NVIDIA can go pound sand, because, like, that is really good price to performance. Now, I don't think they'll be quite as fast in ray tracing, but if they get a DLSS competitor working, I think it'll be close enough. I think it won't be a huge deal. Someone said, hey, I got a Gigabyte 3080 OC. I came from a 1080. I just got a small FPS increase in 1440p, i7-8700K overclocked 5 gigahertz. Do you know why? Double check to make sure, like, use 2 separate power cables and plug those in. Double check to make sure your clock speeds are correct, because you should be getting a pretty decent one. Thank you, Kurt H, for the $1.50. Every little bit helps there, and I love your little unicorn. It's like the old rumors of people saying Navi will beat 2080 Ti at $300 or something. Yeah, that's the thing. I'm a little worried. I heard $550. I want it to be $550, but it might not be $550. It might be like $650, knowing what their company is like today. All right, thank you for the Australian $5, Jay Talmadge. Hyped for the meme 57 team 5700X and X570 and RX 5700XT. Yeah, oh yeah. I was thinking about that a long time ago. There's definitely going to be a lot of 57s. Let's see. What's the best board for the 5900X? Well, I'll tell you what the best board is. It's the ROG, like, I think it's the Hero, the Hero, like, 8 or something. It's whatever the X570 Hero board is from Asus, and I'll tell you why it's the best board. Not only does it have really great VRMs, but on top of that, it has like a safe boot button for memory overclocking. It's got like a retry button. It's got like a CMOS reset button. And you got everything you want on there for overclocking. But that motherboard is stupid expensive, and you probably shouldn't buy it. I don't get why slightly slower than the 3080 is so bad. What'd y'all expect? So here's why I would be disappointed but not surprised. I'm not surprised because AMD has like they have not beaten Nvidia in a long time. But I'm disappointed because when you take all the specs of an 80 compute unit GPU from AMD and you give it enough bandwidth, it should crush the 3090. Even with poor scaling, it should crush it. So for them to put out a GPU that if that's their top GPU and it's a little bit slower than the 3080, it's a disappointing architecture. Like something's not scaling right, or there's not enough CUs. Something's wrong. It's not as good as it should have been. But I've been saying for a long time, don't expect to see something beat a 3080. I think it'll happen, but what we can expect, and I pretty much know, is there's going to be something between a 3070 and 3080. I've been saying that for a long time. All right, thank you, Mouse Sauce, for the Australian 10. Pronounced more sauce. Oh, okay. Also, the numbers that Hardware Unbox got were from talking to AMD and their 3080 testing at those settings. Of course, it's not perfect, but they've been honest in the past. I think AMD's more honest, yeah. All right. Thank you, Satsuki, for the $5 coming from a 1500X and 1070 Ti. Should I get a 3800X or 5600X for 1440p gaming? I'm pairing with a 3080 and 6900 XT. I don't plan on upgrading till AM5 drops. Well, it's a good question because like 8 cores are going to age better, but the 57 or 5600X is just going to be better at gaming. So I guess that kind of gives you your answer. It's which one would you rather have, more cores or faster cores? Because they're probably going to be around the same price. Personally, I'd prefer faster cores, but it's up to you. All right, and then we got, thank you, The Real Salami, for $5. This is what happens when you put an engineer in charge instead of a corporate idiot. Well done, Lisa Su. Yeah, Lisa Su absolutely saved this company and turned them from a disaster into basically the best company in tech right now. I think that despite the fact that they're raising prices and stuff, which is not great, I think they're one of the most consumer-friendly companies. They're one of the most honest. They're not always honest, but I think they try. And I think that personally, I respect AMD more now than Intel for sure. And I sort of respect them more than NVIDIA in a way. But I do still like NVIDIA. But you be careful there, NVIDIA. You've been really pushing your luck. Yeah, you're getting awfully close to me not liking you. All right, building a new gaming PC, going with a 5900X and X570 Hero motherboard. Is it worth waiting for Big Navi or get in line for 3080? It's a really good question because you might have to wait for Big Navi because it's real hard to get a 3080. And on top of that, it's like, again, Big Navi might not beat the 3080. It might be slower. It's like if you're looking for ultimate performance, but at the same time, and we don't know where Big Navi's ray tracing performance is, but that 16 gigabytes, which is all but confirmed at this point, it's looking real good. Like, that would be real nice. If you get, even if it was like $600 for a 16 gigabyte card that's like just barely slower than the 3080, maybe they have like $650, $700 card that's a little bit faster. We'll see. Might be worth waiting. All right. I know I said I would end the stream right about now, but I think I'll give it about 4 to 5 more minutes. So I'll probably end it at 11:15 here, my time. So if you have any other questions in, get them in quick. I'm ending the stream very shortly here because I do have to go ahead and make that video. Got to get it up. I have so much stuff to do today. Every day. So much stuff. That's why my eyes are red, if you can see. Staring at screen. It's like everything I do is on the computer, and I have to actively go outside. Like, I have to choose, like, okay, I'm going to go on a walk outside and get sunlight because I play games on the computer in my free time when I have it, which isn't as often as it used to be. I do work on my computer. Like, it's just everything I do is around my computer. So it's just like, oh man, it's a lot of stuff too. Been watching for a month or so now, just subbed. Take care, dude. Well, thanks, 5 stars. I'm glad that you have subscribed, and we are building up what YouTubers used to always call their subscribers our army. No, that's not an army. building up our little community here. That's what I'd call it. Big Navi was not benchmarked. The spec sheet said 2080 Ti. Big Navi comes, yeah, okay. All right, $1,200 build. Should I buy 5600X or wait for 3000 series price to drop? You're gonna have to wait anyway, so just wait. You can't buy them right now. At least I don't think so. I could top on Newegg, I guess, but I don't. They said it's landing Q4. Like, I don't expect to see it on there. We're about to confirm though. Nope, not on there, as expected. All right, thank you, Goose, for the $5. A chauffeur for Dr. Lisa Sue when in Seattle. Without getting into details based on her conversation, she has a nuke button for NVIDIA. Well, I'd love to take you for your word, Goose, but I have no idea who you are, and that seems like I chauffeured for Lisa Sue. Like, maybe you did, but how am I supposed to be able to confirm that? Like, there's no way I could confirm that. No way I could confirm that. But you know what? I'll give you the benefit of the doubt, and I'll tell you this. I think she has something waiting fast. I think AMD has something fast they're not telling us, but we will see. All right, thank you for the £5, Mr. Natural Death. With 105 watts for the CPU, what kind of power supply would you need for 3090 and 5900X? I mean, I would get, like, it's one of those things where, like, maybe you could even get away with, like, a 550 watt. Who knows? But realistically, to get the maximum efficiency out of your power supply and to leave room for upgrades and overclocking and God knows what else you're going to put in it, just get way more than you need. Like, at least 850 watts, maybe even look at 1,000 watts. Like, why not spend the extra money on a really nice power supply? Give yourself some extra room. Allow yourself room to breathe. Like, it's just, there's no downside to getting a better power supply than just spending a little more money, which I know is a big downside, but it's kind of nice. Like, I moved to a 1,000 watt power supply a while ago, and I'm very glad I did so. All right, thanks for all the vids. Rest in peace, my Corsair 8 Formula with the 3900X and 2080 Ti, but I gave up due to the parts shortages back in February, but I had fun messing with CPU with your overclock tutorials. Well, thanks a lot for the $10, and I'm glad that you were able to get something useful out of that. Let's see, what else is going on here? What's coming next? Oh, Lord. Yeah, we're gonna skip that ad. CNET highlights. Yeah, sure. We'll let this play in the background. Why not? All right. Looks like if you have any last questions here, I'm going to give you about a minute to get them in, and then I'm ending the stream here. I know there's a lot of people still watching, and I could seriously sit here and answer questions for like hours, but at some point I got to get this video done because I have momentum building on my channel right now, and I have to keep this momentum going. I have to try and get as many subscribers as I can. If you're watching, you're not subscribed right now, please do so, because if I can keep this momentum up, I can like potentially keep doing this basically full time. Where as if my momentum drops significantly, I'm gonna have to start looking for work again in the near future. Which nothing wrong with that. It just means that I might have to reduce the amount of videos I put out potentially. So I want to try and push hard while I have momentum so I can continue doing this full time, which is really what I'd rather do. All right, is Intel gonna have a comeback? I know some people who work inside Intel right now. I've gotten emails and stuff in the past, or like people have talked to me, and like their management is a disaster. And like they're excited for stuff that's coming out in like 2022, 2023, and I'm like, well, yeah, but AMD isn't just gonna sit on their old process. They're gonna have new stuff too. It's like, it could be a while before Intel has a comeback. They need to get rid of like a lot of upper management. They need to like clean out. They got some problems going on over there, because like they have some smart engineers working over there, but the guys who are directing them and leading them, like, I'm sure they're nice people, but like it just seems like there's a lot of politics going on and a lot of poor decisions being made. I think someone else who has their finger on the pulse of the PC industry more, the desktop PC industry, needs to come in and kind of fix that up. No, they aren't nice people, bro. Well, listen, I don't know them. I'm not gonna sit here and tell I'm gonna tell you they're evil. Like, I have no idea who these people are. I just know that they're not making the best decisions with what the resources they have right now. All right, thank you, Sandra Rasmussen, for the 50 Norwegian krones. Just subscribed to your channel after watching your videos for months already. Cheers. Yeah, thanks a lot for subscribing. If you're not subscribed, I'm about to end the stream. Please subscribe. Let's keep this momentum going, because as I get more momentum, as I get more subscribers, I have the ability to get my hands on hardware more, so I can do more hardware reviews and overclocking, which I want to do more of, but it's real hard. It's real hard to get hardware on release date when nobody recognizes you as a legitimate business, because like as many views as I get, I don't have enough subscribers. Apparently, it is like seems to be the issue, which like I feel like I'm doing very well. I like the amount of subscribers I have, but you got to play the YouTube game. You got to get more views and subscribers all the time. So that's the way it is. But in any case, it is past the time I said I would end the stream. I think it's about time now to end it here. So like literally, I will answer one more question here, and then I'm gonna end the stream. But thank you everyone so much for watching. Definitely like doing these streams. And if you're still watching here, by the way, I will be doing the stream for the big Navi GPUs as well. I'm actually a little bit more hyped for that, because I think that has a bigger impact on the industry right now. Like, it's what's pushing NVIDIA to drop prices. I say drop prices, but the 3090, which is essentially, in my opinion, a 2080 Ti replacement, went up in price, but their $700 GPU is much, much better now. So I'm very excited for that. I will be live streaming that. Make sure you subscribe for that. And also make sure you're subscribed for the video that will be coming out within the next 2 to 3 hours, hopefully. It'll be a total recap of all of what just happened here, and it'll be a little bit more in depth. It'll be a little bit more official. I try and make sure that what I say is correct. Whereas I'm just kind of now giving my ideas out right now. I want to tell you like exactly how fast to expect these processors to be, when to expect them to launch, stuff like that. So in any case, so I'll answer one more question here, and then I'll get off. So good luck getting those RTX 3080 card, boys. Yeah. All right. Yeah, good luck to everyone trying to get their 3080s. And I think that'll cap it off for this stream and perfectly encapsulates the total industry right now of trying to get things that you cannot get your hands on. But again, everyone, thank you so much for watching. And of course, I'll see you in the next video. And let's go ahead and end the stream.